after. I've played that before. And they used none of my drives.
I know, man. It was, what's so funny is it? I can't remember what hole it was, but yesterday, his drive was actually further than Tiger's was. However, and the commentators talk about, well, Tiger, this is kind of a teachable moment. They used Tiger's drive, which was, I think, maybe, I can't remember how many yards shorter, but it was in a better position for them.
Right.
And then Charlie goes in and hits it within a few feet of the hole. I was like, oh my goodness. Yeah. That was a lot of fun to watch. So again, if you are a golf fan, check out, I'm sure you can go on YouTube or whatever and see some highlights of what that young man did. But remember that name, Charlie Woods. He is, if he continues on the way that he started out yesterday.
Hey, Rick, and it's good to be challenged by your parents.
Yeah.
Because, every so often I'd race my mom from the corner to the house.
Yeah.
And I think I was in the 6th or 7th grade when I got to the point that I could outrun her.
It took that long, huh?
Hey, my boy told me, hey, man, you should be ashamed.
Yeah.
And the way I told her, I said, I am. I'm supposed to be a pretty good ball player. I can't even outrun my mom.
Hey, I tell you what, mom had game, obviously.
Mom could flat run, Rick. I finally had to admit that.
Hey, come on. Come on, you talking about from down south, Savannah, Georgia, and wherever. Come on, man.
Flat run, Rick.
Yeah, I know that's right. Well, again, welcome to the show. I'm Rick DuPree, Dupe. That's Edwin Bailey. And before we break down the Seahawks game, also, Edwin, I'm excited. I don't know about you. Tomorrow night, the NBA kicks the season off. And, man, there are two great games. I typically don't sit and watch, a full game. I mean, I've been watching, obviously, the Seahawks game. But tomorrow night on TNT, the first game at 4 o'clock, Golden State and Brooklyn. Oh, come on, man. The Warriors at Brooklyn. Kyrie's healthy. Kevin Durant's healthy. And they're talking about Kevin Durant, man. It's like they're saying the way he's playing is like he hadn't even been injured. Now, given the fact that he's had, a year and a half or so recovery time, or whatever the case may be. He's had all of last season and has had a lot of time, but they say he is looking as sharp as ever.
But Rick, I like Golden State, man. I like what Golden State brings to the table. I like that mix of ball players. Those guys know why they're there, and everybody plays there. And they got a little something going on amongst them, which is good too. That's always good for the locker room. That everybody's pulling the win the way they want to win, which is good.
Yeah. Golden State, I tell you what, I mean, you mentioned the Warriors, and I'm a big Warriors fan, and we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, and unfortunately, with Klay Thompson going down, but the Warriors, man, I mean, they are going to, I think, make some noise and hopefully surprise some people as they open the season. So again, game one of the doubleheader, Golden State at Brooklyn, and talking to Kevin Durant, I mean, it doesn't sound. I mean, I don't think he left, and maybe I'm wrong. I don't think he left Golden State on a sour note. And he said, "Hey, man, I come to play regardless." And so I don't think he's going to be shooting for anything. But I mean, the reality is this: KD can flat out score. He's going to show up, and it's going to be a game. And then game two, Clippers and the Lakers. I don't know. You can say Clippers at the Lakers or Lakers at the Clippers.
The Lakers was there first.
Okay, so Lakers the home team, but man, I'm gonna tell you what. As I look at the Lake, I mean, come on, man. The Lakers have added. Oh, man, I don't know if it's fair, man. So they've added Marc Gasol, number one. So you got a big guy now who can play big, but also will play out. On the wing or the high post and can pass.
Yeah,
I mean, man, so you got. I mean, come on, and you add that to LeBron and to AD and to Kyle Kuzma, and then I mean it's just, and then they added a guy who I love at guard. Now they don't have who I love, Rajon Rondo. I've always liked his game. He's not there, but you got Dennis Schroeder, and so you get a little bit younger there at the point. I mean Edmund, I don't know if anybody can beat the Lakers. I'm sorry.
Well, hey, Rick, the Lakers have, as far back as I've been a Laker fan all the way back doing Jerry West and Wilt Chamberlain.
Oh, whew. And don't forget Elgin Baylor from Seattle U. But okay.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And see, the reason I started watching it because Elgin Baylor was in transition. I think he was just about to call it quits.
Yeah.
And they've always done a great job with getting the guy that they want and paying him.
Come on.
So, They really impressed me when they went and they had Connie Hawkins there for a while.
See, wait. You gotta stop here. People don't understand Connie Hawkins. Okay,
the precursor to Julius Erving.
Yeah, his hands were so big. You talking about? And you remember how George McGinnis used to take the ball one hand and do that? Oh, the Connie Hawkins, man.
That's when I watched more ABA than NBA.
Yeah.
Because of George Gervin and all the guys that was
nice, man.
NBA,
Yeah. Oh, people don't know. And want to give a shout out to Rico Brown. He's listening up and saying, "What up, big bro from 31st Ave? Yeah, we grew up together. What's up?" He's listening and watching. Appreciate you, man. Good you're listening in. But yeah, man, Edwin, you bringing back some memories as far as basketball. Clippers, it's going to be interesting. I hate the way they did Doc Rivers. It's going to be interesting to see what Doc does in Philly. But you got Tyronn Lue. So the Lakers. The Clippers. It's going to be interesting. I don't think they can hang with the Lakers. But it's one game. When I talk about I don't think anybody can beat the Lakers. I'm talking about long term, taking it in. Getting the ring. But it's going to be fun to see the NBA. Now, here's one interesting thing, Edwin. NBA started out right. They had the latter part of the season, obviously, everything after the pandemic in the bubble. And they remain, and they had some outbreaks, but they remained pretty, they were able to play and it didn't impact them a lot. It's going to be really, really interesting to see what happens with COVID as this season starts. Now you got, 30 teams, you're traveling, doing all of that. Now, to the NBA's credit, I think the NBA, in my opinion, I don't know about you, they just seem to be a little bit at the forefront ahead of other professional leagues. In the way they do things, they're progressive, and so I think they have a lot of the protocols in place. They're going to make sure people are safe, but it's going to be really, really interesting to see if there are outbreaks, and if so, how that impacts the season. I think if there are outbreaks, they definitely are going to shut those players down and go through the protocols. They're not going to, hopefully they're not going to, sidestep those, but it's going to be interesting to see.
I agree with you, Rick. I agree with you wholeheartedly. The NBA is going to take the initiative. If something goes wrong, the NBA going to step up there and the NBA going to shut it all down.
Yeah. If they have to, if it gets to that, yeah, you hope it doesn't get to that, but
I really do, because I really, really enjoy the NBA season. I figured if I was maybe 2 inches taller, I'd have been in the NBA.
Edwin, 2 inches would have made me 5'9". Okay. That wouldn't help a brother out too much. Maybe 2 feet, okay?
Well, what made me feel good is when I met Charles Barkley. And we were the exact same size.
Yeah.
I said, if this guy can play, I know I can play. And then Jacob Green felt the same way. If we got a legitimate shot, we could have played in the NBA.
Well, when a guy by the name of, there are a few little guys for me. Like there was a guy named Calvin Murphy.
Oh boy.
There was a guy named Tiny Archibald. There's a guy named Spud Webb.
Yes, sir.
and then Muggsy Bogues.
Muggsy Bogues was 5 feet.
Come on, man. 5'3" or whatever.
When we went to see, matter of fact, when Spud Webb won the slam dunk.
Yeah.
We walked by Muggsy Bogues. We thought it was some elementary school kid.
I know.
And then when he came out with it without everything on, you said, "Whoa,
yeah,
look
man,
at the legs on this guy."
Man, come on.
That's not a kid.
Yeah, no, that dude, he was put together.
Yeah, he was put together, man.
Ooh, man, yeah, Muggsy, man. So, yeah, there's some guys, and then obviously from here, one of the guys who I just love and love his heart is Nate Robinson. And Nate just so much heart. And although I feel for my boy, I don't know if you saw the thing. I'm not on social media, but obviously.
Hey, man. Hey, I saw it, Rick. And I'm glad he got a payday. I hope he come back. Nate Robinson is one of my favorite athletes all
Yeah,
time.
yeah. That makes two of us. That makes two of us.
Because when you can play DB and you can play in the slot and you can cover that slot guy,
come on,
you're a heck of an athlete. You know?
Come on. Yeah.
And I mean, and they talking trash and giving him a hard time.
Yeah, man.
Look here. Hey, I love Nate. I met his mom. Oh, she's wonderful.
Oh, and she knows that, yeah.
Wife.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Hey, they need to leave Nate alone.
Yeah, they do. They do.
At least he had the balls to get in there and try.
Yeah, yeah. So I will give him that. But man, when I saw it, I was like, oh my goodness.
Hey, hey, Rick. That's why there's football players, there's basketball players, there's baseball players, hockey players, tracksters, and then there's boxers.
Wait. No, you remember Richard Pryor, one of his old albums, and he talk about I can't even repeat it on there, but basically there's something he said on there that would relate to what that happened to Nate out there.
Hey, and Richard Pryor was messing with Muhammad Ali, wasn't he?
I hope not. No. I know.
So his eye was talking.
Yeah. No, but man, I tell you what. Yeah,
alone, man.
Yeah, no, I hear you, but no, you like you, man. Nate, one of my favorite athletes, and it's so much fun because seeing Nate here, in town, and his son, one of his oldest, was a freshman last year. We covered Rainier Beach, and just phenomenal athlete, and he's going to be a great player for the Vikings out there. So that was a lot of fun watching this.
Hey, Rick, you know that there's going to be, and what people don't understand, there's going to be bad times in sports.
Oh yeah.
I was sitting in Savannah, Georgia, and they decided ain't got a clue that I'm even sitting in there. They're going to show Derek Thomas's 7 sacks in the game. One of the kids said, whoa, wait a minute. Mr. Bailey, weren't you out there? I said, yeah. Would you watch? That's my sack right there. I gave up.
Yeah. Only one.
Like, they laugh, have a good time. I told him, I said, but at the end, we got a payday.
Yeah.
And we won that game.
Yeah, there you go.
I said, the one sack he missed is the one that he should have got.
Uh-huh.
And that's the one we scored a touchdown on.
There you go.
I think the Paul Scanlon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was out of UW, Mr. Scansy.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
Tough as nails.
Yeah.
Get his head knocked off and come right back the next
Come right back. Bounce right back up. Yeah.
That's my guy.
Yeah. No, we had some receivers out of UW. There's Paul Scansy, Anthony Allen, Aaron Williams. Man, we had some guys. Leroy Lutu, Willie Roseboro moved from tight end to running back to we had some guys out there.
Hey, I watched the Huskies, man. I really, really enjoyed the Huskies. And when I moved here for the very first week, this guy was helping us take the stuff out of the car.
Yeah.
And it was Doug Martin. My rookie year. At least I did not realize that he was gonna come back to haunt me.
Yeah, he haunted a lot of brothers. Let me tell you,
man, perpetual motion, nonstop,
hard,
play hard, just hard. Hey, you gotta love Doug. But then again, I should have known he was from South Carolina.
Oh, there you go. You know who one of my other favorite? I know you know him because it's Stafford Mays.
Oh yeah. Hey, sir, talk a lot. Hey, I know he hears this, and I know he's gonna call me tomorrow.
Sir, talk a lot. I'm gonna have to get him on that. I tell you, Stafford was so much fun. I tell you, that is one of the funniest men I have ever met in my life.
Rick, you know I got a story for you now.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay.
My first week here.
Hey, and then we'll break down the game real quick.
My first week here, I'm walking into the stadium, and I hear this lady calling me. Now, the week before, Tucson Tyler told me, "Oh man, you remind me of my homeboy Stafford Mays." I said, "Man, I don't even know who that is."
Right.
So I'm going out of the stadium. I hear the lady calling, grab me and spin me. Boy, you don't hear me talking to you. I said, "Excuse me, ma'am." Oh, son, I thought you was my son. Do you know Stafford Mays? I said, "Oh no."
Wait, his mother?
His mother.
She thought you was him.
Up until that point, I never met him. And then I finally met him. I said, man, I don't look nothing like that.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy. That is hilarious. All right, Edwin, we got what? We got about 9-10 minutes here. Let's break this game down. Yeah, let's break this game down real quick. So, like I said, big win. A couple of things that for me, takeaways that I think were really good. I mean, number one, they started out good, and I want you to comment on the offensive line play because, man, let me tell you something. They were blowing some holes open yesterday. That running game, I mean, and that's what you want. That's what you want. And that was impressive. That was absolutely impressive. I mean, look at the rushing yards yesterday. They had 181 rushing yards.
And it was spread out pretty even too, Rick.
Yeah.
Spread out pretty even. They got the run game established. Old school, Joe Turner, Willie Jeffries, and Chuck Knox. They get the run game established first.
Yeah.
Right? And when that run game got established, you kind of know that the play action pass, and then you can take a shot or two down deep.
Yeah. And Russell didn't throw. I mean, let me look at his stats. Russell yesterday was 18 and 27, 121 yards, one interception. And one touchdown, I should say, and then the interception as well on the tip. It's people are like, well, he's gone downhill from he was playing like an MVP. They didn't need him to take on the burden yesterday, and up until the fourth quarter. And I mean, I think the defense. I was really impressed through the first three quarters, in particular, the defense, and then when the game was on the line, the defense stepped up, made some big plays, a couple of big sacks at the end. And I tell you what, the more I see Carlos Dunn that play, the more I'm saying, man, that was a good pickup for the Seahawks.
Hey, Rick, that kid creates havoc, and he's stepping in there right with that big DB we had. What was number 31? What was his name, Rick?
Oh, you talking about Cam Chancellor?
Yeah. And he's making you look for somebody. I saw one of his pass rushes, man. Hey, the kid is a ball player, man.
Yeah. So you got that, and then Jamal Adams, added to his sack record. He has a record now for most sacks by a DB, and added to that yesterday with one. But those two sacks at the end of the game, again, the defense stepped up when they had to. They gave up a lot of passing yards there on those two long drives for scores for Washington. And and I tell you what, man, we saw on the other side of that ball, Haskins playing quarterback for Washington. We saw a kid grow up a little bit there. That kid showed you what he could do, and that was he was impressive. He was impressive.
Well, they're doing a great job with their personnel. I think if anybody deserves a tip of the hat for this big kid coming in there and stirring up the defense like this, hey, personnel.
They
went out and they got a Carlos Dunlap, and he fits in, and now the defense is beginning to get, as they just say, they're beginning to jive together.
Yeah.
It's a good time to start playing well. You start playing well around Christmas, and you can get on the roll. You can get some things done. Yeah.
So, Edwin, now we take a look. I mean, again, good things. I want to see this team now put everything together where offensively they're clicking on the ground, the passing game, and the defense doing what they do. So Seahawks now are back in control of their destiny. They are in first place in the West, 10-4. The Rams are right behind them at 9-5. They've got to win next week. They got the Rams. And you got to come away with the win. You got to come away.
Now, they got to be a little upset losing to the Jets.
Come on, man. So they're gonna be hungry coming in.
Oh my goodness, man. But I'm hoping, from a game plan standpoint, that we're gonna go in there and look and see what the Jets did well, and we're gonna go and try and duplicate that again this week.
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
And challenge them from that standpoint. See if they made those adjustments. Because if they haven't made those adjustments, we need to take full advantage of them.
Yeah. Well, and that was, again, you look at the first game as a close game. The Seahawks, though, I think you make a good point, Evan. They've got to take a look at what the teams that have been successful, and last week, obviously, or yesterday, the Jets. What did they do to exploit, the Rams? But the Seahawks are in control. So you got the Rams at home. Obviously, without the fans, you don't maybe have as much of a home field advantage. Throw that out the window. I mean, bottom line is you got to play. You got to play ball. So the Seahawks are in control, and they've got to go ahead and get that win, next week. And then say they get the win, then you finish up, in the well, I don't know. Are they going to be in San Francisco or Arizona against the 49ers? But they finish up on the road, against the 49ers. So the Seahawks
quarterback, the Arizona quarterback is playing good football, man.
Yeah,
he looked like one of those old Oklahoma quarterbacks from back in the day.
Yeah.
But he's getting the job done, Rick. He's being productive. He's protecting that football.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be a hard out, man. And I was already scared. I'm scared to death of the Rams and their defense.
Oh man,
but the way that quarterback down there is playing right now.
Yeah. So we'll see. So the Seahawks have they've got their work cut out for them, but they are in control of their own destiny. And we've been talking about this for the last several weeks. The importance of them finishing the season these last few weeks and really, really starting to gel, really being kind of on a roll. And it seems like they're getting healthy as well, which is important. So if they can stay healthy, we'll see what happens. But time.
That's important, man. That's important, especially this time of the year. And with that COVID, everybody is not going to be as sharp as they should be at this stage because they're not getting a whole lot of time out there, a whole lot of one-on-one time. And as I grew older and as I coached, I understood the importance of that. But it's going to be interesting to see how the basketball season is going to go.
Yeah. So real quickly, Edwin, I want to highlight one play. We got about 2 minutes left, and I was looking through my notes, and at the 2:18 mark, remember they called a personal foul on KJ Wright, and it was on. I believe it was on a third down, and the receiver gave Washington the first down on the Seahawks 39. And I was like, oh man, this is not boding well. Yeah. But man, I mean, you look at the play. The receiver was going lower than KJ. KJ was coming. They called him targeting, and I think if I'm not mistaken, KJ was like, well, what else could I have done? And I understand it. And I like the fact they're trying to protect players. But man, I mean, football is an aggressive game. Number one, he was not targeting, trying to hurt the guy. And Grant, I get it, regardless of what the intent is. If you hit a guy, you hit a guy. But I mean, he was coming in, and the guy went down. And so he got him in the head. It's like, come on, really?
But Rick, sometimes, as you know, you got to drop your head to protect yourself. Yeah. Hopefully your neck can hold out.
Yeah.
But this targeting thing is taking on a life of its own now.
Man.
And one time, the NFL was a defensive game. As much as they talked about offense, as much as they blow smoke in the quarterback's butt, it was a defensive game.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there in the process looking at this. They've already had a targeting call. They had to stop the game to look at it to see if it was a targeting call. And it wasn't a targeting call. The guy just dropped his head to protect himself.
Yeah.
So and it's first of all, we getting the non-football people got to get out of football.
Yeah. You hit the nail on the head. We are out of time. We'll talk more about that next week. Hey, real quickly, I just want to let our listeners know, check out The Way with Jazz and Ty, brand new live show joining Rainier Avenue Radio's Tuesdays at 10 p.m. And, of course, following us right now, don't turn the dial, don't turn away, because Lidline Sports is next. For Daniel B., our producer, for Edwin Bailey, the legend, I'm Dupe. Until next week, peace. God bless.
All right, Rick.
Don't punish me.
Bobby Gay, hey.
Talk to me so you can see. Would you like to see